Good morning, students. Today we are going to explain about light chapter of class 10. Light. So the question is that one question arises to our mind. What is light? Light is a form of energy by which we can we get the sensation of sight. Sensation of sight. Actually, light is such a form of energy due to which it consists of electromagnetic radiation. Light consists of electromagnetic wave. And most important nature of light is that light travels along a straight line. Light propagates along a straight line, and we call it rectilinear propagation. Another important fact about the light is that when light travels in vacuum, the speed of light the speed of light is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second, and this very speed is taken for both in vacuum as well as in air medium. So these are the some facts, and now we are going to study about reflection. What is the meaning of reflection? Reflection of light Reflection is the phenomenon of bouncing back of light from any reflecting surface with the same medium from where it is incident. To show this reflection, we first take a plane mirror, because plane mirror is the simplest way to reflect the light. We take a plane mirror and where the one side is painted, we just give the painted surface is shown by the arrows given. Shading line are given to show the painted surface of the plane mirror. Here you can see M dash as the plane mirror. You just take the size of the plane mirror. You choose any midpoint. You say it as O, and with the help of protractor, we draw the perpendicular to the plane of the reflection, and we keep the name as N. So ON is the perpendicular, which is known as normal to the plane of the mirror. Now suppose that the light is traveling from one medium to the same medium after bouncing back. So we just start the rays of light going from A point to the O point. O is the point of incidence, and the light is incident on the plane mirror with certain angle. This angle is known as angle of reflection. This is the angle made between the normal and the incident rays. Now it bounces back from the reflecting surface. Yes, we take as V point to which the light comes after reflection from the mirror. So the reflection, the phenomenon of bouncing back, the phenomenon of bouncing back, bouncing of light in the same medium bouncing of light in the same medium from where it incidents on the reflecting surface, on the reflecting surface. So such phenomenon is called reflection of light. We see here in the diagram that the angle which was shown here, one side the incident light A to O and reflected light O to B, angle of incidence I and angle of reflection R. So very simple terms are associated with the reflection of light: incident ray, reflected ray, normal, angle of incidence I and angle of reflection R. So all these things are shown in the case of plane mirror. So after knowing the concept of the reflection of light, we should be clear about the 2-3 terms. Here A2O is our incident light, incident ray. O to B is the reflected ray. ON is the normal. I, angle I, angle of incidence, angle of incidence, angle R, angle of reflection, angle of reflection. So laws of reflection is also related to such diagram. Laws of reflection. The first law is that Angle I is always equal to angle R. Angle I is always equal to angle R in the case of the reflection of light. Second statement, second law is that the incident ray, the incident ray, the reflected ray, reflected ray, and the normal at the point of incidence, at the point of incidence, at the point of incidence, all alive, all lie at the same plane, all lie in the same plane. So these two statements are utilized for laws of reflections related to the reflection of light through any surface. We should also take care of the silver metal surface, which is one of the best reflector of light, and ray of light which is incident normally on a plane mirror is reflected back along its own path. Laws of reflection can be applied to all kinds of reflecting surface. Now let us see how the light travels and when it incident on the plane reflecting surface, how it becomes and forms the image of the object. So the two terms related to the reflection of light is that image formation. If light rays coming from the point after reflection meet at another point or appear to meet at another point, then second point is called image of the first point. So let us see about the real and virtual image. First of all, real and virtual images are due to the reflection of light. If in the case of plane mirror we should think of here, we draw plane mirror and we choose point of incidence, we draw the normal, we take a point size object at point A, ray of light incidence on the plane mirror. It is at a certain distance from the plane mirror end, and after reflection bouncing back, then it enters into the observer's eye at the same angle as the angle made by the incident rays. So I and R are equal to each other. This is the point of reflection. The object appears to come from behind the mirror. The ray of light which enters into the observer's eye, it appears to come from the point which is just behind the mirror. We call it as A dash and we call it an image of the A. Actually, when we join the lines from the point of reflection O It is at the same distance from the mirror as the distance of the object from the same mirror. So if the distance of the object from the mirror is u, the distance of the image just behind the mirror will be v. So A dash is the point of image, A is the point object, so in case of one ray starting from the point A, we can show the virtual image is formed, which is behind the mirror. At any the ray of light may be taken to any other point from where it will bounce, and once again image of the object is formed behind the mirror. So two things are important: virtual image is formed by a plane mirror, second point, object distance must be equal to the image distance. These two things are very much important in the case of the plane mirror and image form. Now the question arises here: what is the difference between the real image and virtual image? The two terms also arise in the light chapter: real image and virtual image. The distinction between the 2 points is that number one point of difference is that real image is always obtained after reflection from any reflecting surface when they actually meet. Real image is that image which is obtained by actual intersection of light rays after reflection. From reflecting surface. Whereas virtual image is the image obtained by virtual intersection. Virtual intersection means the ray of light after bouncing back does not actually meet, but it appears to meet. In the case of plane mirror, we have shown here A is the point of the object and it is the point of virtual intersections of the rays, which makes the virtual image. So that image which is obtained by virtual intersection of light rays after reflection. After reflection from the surface is the virtual image. Another point of distinction can also be taken care of. Point number 2 can be taken for distinguishing real image. Real image can be obtained the screen. This is very important line, on the screen, whereas virtual image virtual image cannot be obtained on the screen. So these 2 points are very much distinguishing and fundamental in concept. More comment can be distinguished. Images formed by examples can be taken for both the cases. Convex lens or concave mirror for viewing. Image formed by a plane mirror, simplest example. Formed by convex mirror, also formed by a concave lens. All these things form the images. Concave lens, convex mirror, plane mirror, all forms virtual image. So these two things are the distinction between the real and virtual image.